All right, shalom. First off, I want to start by saying all praises, honor, and glory is due unto the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rakal Kadash. It's all praises to the world called God, whose true name in the Hebrew is Yahweh, by Hashem meaning in the name, and Yahushai be the name of the only begotten Son. Also want to say double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and mercy to the hopeful elect, preaching His word in truth and sincerity. I'm the brother Tazabah in the Great Millstone, Arizona camp. Lord will with another video to edify. And this article from Yahoo News, and it hits prophecy. It's speaking louder and louder. I gotta start off with that, man. It's Habakkuk. Two and three. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. So prophecy speaking louder than ever, man. More and more stuff is coming out that really is just 100% the scripture speaking. Even the heathen are quoting scriptures within it, showing you that the Lord is about to do these things, man. But before all the nuclear war and all that stuff pops off, there's going to be the mark of the beast, and that prophecy as well is speaking just as loud, right? They're all talking about a whole new digital dollar for the U.S. currency. We're coming to the end of the third quarter, and it's looking like they're going to have a third quarter of negative GDP, horrible outcomes. So that's spelling the continuance of an actual recession. It was a recession. Inflation was hitting. Now you're going to start getting into that depression portion of it. So this is the article, right? It says Medvedev, so terrified by security guarantees for Ukraine that he's talking about an apocalypse. It says Dmitry Medvedev, deputy chairman of the Security Council of the Russian Federation, has called the recommendations of the Kyiv Security Compact for the strategic partnership of Ukraine in the guarantor state, a prologue to World War III. It says Kyiv Camarilla has drafted security guarantees, which are a prologue to the Third World War. Of course, no one will give any guarantees to the Ukrainian Nazis. After all, this is almost the same as applying Article 5 of the North Atlantic Treaty, right? Washington Treaty, to Ukraine. For NATO, it is the same shit, only from the side view. That's why it's scary. So basically they're saying, right, under NATO, if you attack one, you come at them all. They're basically giving the same guarantees to Ukraine in a roundabout way by supplying with all the weapons that they've been supplying them with. So it says detail. Medvedev, I don't know how to say his name. It says believes that NATO is waging a hybrid war with Russia by supplying weapons to Ukraine. It says according to him, if Ukraine continues to be pumped full of weapons, then sooner or later the military campaign will go to another level, which it says with unpredictable actions by the opposing sides. Medvedev is afraid that then everything will catch fire in the West, which is weakening Russia by proxy, will not be able to sit out. Meaning what? Wake up all the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, right? Everything will catch fire around them as well. What the curse, right? For all them that fought against Jerusalem. Right? Everything will catch fire around them as well. Their people will be devastated. The earth will literally burn and concrete will melt. Man, this is Hey, we just got to get it. Right? It says 2 Peter 3:10. But the day of Yahweh will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat, and the earth also and the works therein shall be burnt up. Hey, and he's literally saying this in his speech. It says the earth will literally burn and concrete will melt. Not only concrete will melt, but the people. What is that? Zechariah 13 and Salakia. Is it 14? Zechariah 14:12. It says, and this shall be the plague wherewith Yahweh will smite all the people that fought against Jerusalem. Right? That's all you Edomites, really, and the heathen. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. Right? And how is that going to happen? Through thermonuclear war. And this is that next level that they're talking about. It says, back to the article, it says their earth will literally burn and the concrete will melt. We too will suffer a lot. It will be very bad for everyone. After all, it is said, by these three plagues, it says a third of mankind was killed by the fire and smoke and sulfur coming out of their mouths. Revelation 9:18. Right? So basically he's saying, hey, it's coming to the point where, we ain't going to have no choice. And it's about to be devastation on a world grand scale, which this is all prophecy, right? This is Proverbs, right? Because they don't want to do it. The reason why he's saying it in that way, sounding terrified, is because he is. They don't want to do it, but the Lord is the one that's in control of this thing. Proverbs 21:1 says, the king's heart is in the hand of Yahweh. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. You see? It says every way of man is right in his own eyes, but Yahweh pondereth the hearts. So the Lord is the one in control. The Lord is the one that's working on the minds of the kings of the east. Right? The Lord is sitting there making them, harden their hearts so they can go through with this whole battle that's really going to destroy everything, man. This is Ezekiel 38. And Russia has a big part in this, because when you go to Ezekiel 38:1, it starts going into Gog and Magog, right? Which goes into Russia, all their allies, right? Now, when you jump down to verse, this is, I'll go to 9. It says, thou shalt ascend and come like a storm. Thou shalt be like a cloud over the land, thou and all thy bands and many people with thee. Right? Russia's going to gear up. It says, thus saith Yahweh power, it shall also come to pass that at that same time shall things come into thy mind, and thou shalt think of evil thought. And that's basically what's happening, man, because they're seeing that the proxy war that NATO and the EU, America is playing with Russia, trying to weaken them, is getting to the point where what? We see that you're pumping them with guns. We see that you're giving them guarantees, right? Without fully giving them your support. So we know what you're doing. That's basically what they're saying. And it's getting to the point where, hey, pretty soon we're going to have to retaliate. And they're not going to just retaliate against Ukraine. It's going to be a full out retaliation against the U.S. That's that evil thought. And thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages, right? Because when in the ancient world, cities had what? Walls around them. But America was so grand that even in North America, right, going into Canada and all that, down to South America, they call South America their backyard. So they don't need borders. They really don't. They have the oceans, and they just rule this entire place with that iron fist. He that smote the nations in wrath with a continual stroke. This is America. So this is that place of unwalled villages. Why would you need walls if you just running all of it on this side of the world? No problem. It says, and thou shalt say, I will go, back in verse 11, thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages. I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely. all of them dwelling without walls and having neither bars nor gates. That's America. People here dwell safely. They don't even think about a war popping off here. This is why the scriptures tell you, "O virgin daughter of Babylon." The reason why it's a virgin is because this place really hasn't been touched. Right? Everywhere else in the world has suffered great battles on their land, and America really hasn't been touched by an outside source. It says, to take a spoil and take a prey, to turn thy hand upon the desolate places that are now inhabited, and upon the people that are gathered out of the nations, right? Because what? When you go to the New Testament, this place has what? All the nations here. Right? This is why the scriptures talk about America being that melting pot as well. Everybody's here in America. So this is why it's talking about that are gathered out of the nations, which have gotten cattle and goods, that dwell in the midst of the land, right? Sheba and Dedan, and the merchants of Tarshish, with all the young lions thereof, shall say unto thee, art thou come to take spoil? Hast thou gathered thy company to take a prey, to carry away silver and gold, to take away cattle and goods, to take a great spoil? Right? Because when this stuff starts hitting, man, people are gonna be confused. This isn't supposed to happen in America. You see? But the Lord is getting ready to do a great work over here. And the king's minds are being worked on. You know, that spirit of trembling is setting in. This is Jeremiah 50 and 25. Because the Lord is going to gear up and that fire is going to come. Jeremiah 50 and 25. It says, Yahweh hath opened his armory and brought forth the weapons of his indignation, that righteous anger. For this is the work of Yahweh of hosts in the land of the Chaldees. That's America. The land of the Chaldees, the land of witchcrafts. America's chief in that, man. Come against her from the utmost border, open her storehouses, cast her up as heaps, and destroy her utterly. Let nothing of her be left. Slay all her bulwarks. Let them go down to the slaughter. Woe unto them, for their day is come, the time of their visitation. So the Lord is getting ready to sit here and put the smack down. And the nations are talking about it. They know. The only people that don't know is 2/3 of you Israelites, man. You don't really see the gravity of the situation you're in, right? You got bitches making songs calling baby daddy free, exalting abortion. They said they on the murder team. Well, the Lord's coming with that murder team, right? And he's going to get you niggas, man. And it's going to be through these wars, man. A lot of people are going to die in these wars. But the only ones that are going to be saved out of it are the elect, man. This is Isaiah 13 and 5. It says, they come from a far country. I got to start at 4. It says, the noise of a multitude in the mountains like as of a great people. A tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. Yahweh of hosts mustered the host of battle. So the Lord is gathering these armies. The Lord is the one that's gearing this up. Right? The Lord is the one in control. They come from a far country, from the end of heaven. Even Yahweh in the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land. Right? And this is what he's afraid of. Those weapons of indignation that are prepared to destroy the whole land. This is how it's going to burn, right? America will burn, man. It says, how ye, for the day of Yahweh is at hand, it shall come as destruction from the Almighty. Therefore shall all hands be faint and every man's heart shall melt. And what does that look like? When those nukes start shutting off, you know there's nothing you can do, right? There was a cartoon movie called The Iron Giant, right? I forgot the dude's name, but the agent in there hit the button, right? Tried to start running, but everybody else, their knees just got weak and melted. And at a certain point when he got stopped, right, he understood that it was over. It says, and they shall be afraid, and pangs and sorrows shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth, They shall be mazed one at another. Their faces shall be as flames. Right? The Lord's going to burn these niggas up. Behold, the day of Yahweh cometh cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate. And he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. Right? The Lord is going to destroy niggas, man. This is how the Lord is going to get rid of the refuse in this world. By these fires, man. It's Isaiah. Let me get in another one. It's Isaiah 66 and 15. It says, for behold, Yahweh will come with fire and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will Yahweh plead with all flesh, and the slain of Yahweh shall be many. So by fire is what's getting prepared, man. Back in Isaiah 13 and 10, it says, for the stars of heaven and the constellations thereof shall not give her light. All right, because those bomb clouds, that mushroom cloud is going to cover the heavens, man. The sun shall be darkened and is going forth, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine. And I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity. And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. You see, this is what's getting ready to come to pass on the earth, man. And it's beautiful. Because it's getting worse out here, man. This 2 Ezra 16. 16 and 13. It says, I'll start at 12. It says, the earth quaketh and the foundations thereof. The sea ariseth up with waves from the deep. The waves of it are troubled, and the fishes thereof also before Yahweh, and before the glory of his power. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp, going into the missiles, and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. So once this thing goes out, that's it. All right? The Lord is just going to lay everything waste. It says, verse 14, behold, the plagues are sent and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. Right? And when you're talking about weapons that go faster than the speed of sound, right? Hypersonic missiles, man. Right? Yeah, there's no turning those back once they go, man. It says the fire is kindled and shall not be put out till it consume the foundations of the earth. And he talked about concrete will be melted. That's spiritual. That's scriptural, man. It's Amos 9 and 8. I'll end it on this one, man. Amos 9 and 8. It says, behold, the eyes of Yahweh are upon the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy from off the face of the earth, saving I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, say Yahweh. So the Lord is going to destroy America, and he's going to have that remnant be saving in these last days, man. You know? So Lord willing, this is edifying. I'm going to say, call Allah, Yahweh Bashim al-Shai, Bashim al-Karkadash. I'm going to put this article in the description, and Lord, well, you brothers been edified. Shalom.